Let's tighten that up a little bit. Come on. I know it's weird. I don't know. How's everybody doing? What's up back in the studio? Hello? Can you hear me? Let's get that. That thing is good. Everybody's listening. Boom, boom. Hello, Tara Balthazar. Still in the title. Yeah, dude, I've been traveling. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's going to happen. David Musis, DZ, Ruth Benedict, Jana Kelton. Glad you got notified. Shashiva. What's up? Sexy to you, Bob Swanik, Matthew Zavilla, Susan Brown. Hello. Boom, 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 pow. You guys hear and see me okay? Everything good? Lights and sound, streaming, working, living, loving. Boom. This is, what is the show? So let me put this in there. I have just added another Political Vigilante live show at the Sycamore Tavern, the Comedy Dojo, where I did the last one, April 18th. There's the ticket link right there. If you live in LA, want to come see a Political Vigilante live, that's the show where last time I had Jimmy on and we made fun of that drunk heckler whose dad works for the New York Times. So come out. It's a cool venue. Tickets are $10. It's a cool little space. Come check it out. Vermont Brett Smith, what's up? Sounds good on your end. Knuckles shaved. Thank you, Ruth. Jojo. How was the tour? Yeah, oh man, it was so cool. Thank you to all of you who came out to the shows. It was really, we were sort of experimenting, like, it was off nights in some smaller markets in red states to see how it did. And overall it was pretty good. Oxford was not that great, but Lafayette was decent for a Sunday night. Pensacola was awesome. And so was New Orleans. So we'll definitely come back to Pensacola, New Orleans for sure. Maybe Lafayette, Oxford, probably not, but it was cool. Yeah, Ron and I, it was just the people coming out, meeting you guys in person. It's so great to see progressives coming out in all red states. So I couldn't, we were very happy with it and we're excited. So next month, April 12th through the 15th, we're going to Fort Worth, Texas, Houston, San Antonio, and Austin, April 12th through the 15th. Go to grandmello.com. So hope to see you out there. Go. Dave Kenny, what's Beto's foreign policy look like? I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like looks like Jeb Bush's foreign policy. Beto O'Rourke, I said this, I go, if this was 20 or 30 years ago, he'd be running as a Republican and his last name would be Bush. He's just the most centrist corporate Democrat I've ever seen that just knows how to say progressive buzzwords without actually standing for anything. Like, I've seen nothing of substance from this guy at all. And I was one of the many people last summer that saw that one clip of him addressing that issue about guns and stuff like, and it was really in the border wall. I was like, wow, maybe this guy's pretty sharp. And then you see, he gets a lot of money from the oil lobby, and I mean, it's just like I can't get behind this guy at all. The tour looked like tons of fun. Thanks for letting us share a part of your experiences on the road. Yeah, I like doing it. I obviously put some of the behind the scenes videos for the Patreon at the $10 level, because I want to give folks at that level not just one video a week, but behind the scenes exclusive stuff, and then also put one or two on YouTube so everybody can kind of see what the road's like, get a little taste, and it's really cool. And we're traveling, and like anyone is like, oh, you progressives only go to blue places. No, we're going to very red places and cities that are progressive within red states and stuff like that. But it's really, it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing to see and see people from all different walks of life come out. That's what I love about meeting progressives. It's everybody, every age group, every demographic, every ethnicity, every sexual orientation, every whatever. Everybody realizes that things are broken and the two-party system isn't going to fix it. So it's great to see. Marcia Smith, I refuse to call him anything other than Robert O'Rourke. Yeah, Robert Francis O'Rourke. Beto. Such a calculated, oh, he sounds Latin. If he's going to run in Texas, maybe he's Latino. Robert Francis O'Rourke is not Latino. Yeah. My name is Graham William Elwood. I'm an Irish Anglo. I'm not Graham Elwood Rodriguez. Basil Patterson, but namaste, brothers and sisters. Good to hear Marcia's doing well. Shashi, Bernie, Tulsi, Green Party, again, don't split the progressive vote. That's what Court Dems want. Only vote for Tulsi if Bernie's not there. Yeah, I think that's a good strategy to take. Yeah, I bet Ted Cruz raised more money in his first 24 hours than Beaton O'Rourke did, and he's not even running. Absolutely. Drives like Toxic Avenger O'Rourke. Absolutely. And Matthewsville, hey, I'm Beto O'Rourke. I stand for good things and not bad things. LOL, fake progressive. Yeah, I know. It's so good to have him and Kamala are for good things and not bad things. That's what's really going to turn things around. Candidates that are for good things, not bad things. It's so great. It's good to see. Phil Britton, hit the thumbs up button, guys. 58 watching, 14 thumbs up. Thanks, Phil. The Yang Gang memes earlier is high. Beto O'Rourke, I stand on tables because I can't stand on policy. That's fantastic. Yeah, if I ran for office, you could call myself Jorge or Gringo Elwood. Yeah, I'd suddenly become Jorge Elwood. Now the Hillary supporters are attacking that Palestinian Muslim that confronted Chelsea. Oh, man. I'm so glad they're just, people are just calling them out. I mean, it's really like Chelsea, she got called out. That's what all that Islamophobia. They've helped push that. And her mom, as Secretary of State, helped set the Middle East on fire with drone strikes through Obama. And she voted for the Patriot Act. She voted for the Iraq War. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear Hillary Clinton or Obama talk about, we got to stop this Islamophobia. I don't want to hear it. When all they did was drone strike the shit out of the Middle East. I don't want to see it. It's awful. Hey, V. Louie. Yeah, Kathy Griffin and Rosie, the limousine liberals, have to stick together. Well, they're rich white ladies. They're privileged Hollywood people. So they're going to, of course, they're going to back another rich lady. The rich support each other. The rich back each other. That's what happens. Going to see at the Fort Worth show. Awesome. Matthew Jones. Shave the knuckles for justice, brother. Thanks for supporting. Doing my bit. I appreciate you, brother. And I appreciate you, Matthew Jones. I appreciate all you guys for supporting what I'm doing. It's really cool to see you support here on the super chat, to come out to the live shows. And, you know, and then I see a lot of you, you know, just doing all the little things, sharing like this stream and everything else on your social media, people sharing my videos on your social media. That means a lot. That helps. That helps get people to wake up, and it helps support this channel. Just, you know, not skipping the ads when you watch on YouTube, that helps. And my ad revenue's gone up. I've seen it go up. I mean, my views are going way up, which is great because I've added a bunch of subscribers, which is great. Largely to that being on that video with Joe Rogan on Jimmy's show that got 1 million views, and then us taking out that heckler that got 100,000 views, which is big. So all my views are up. Most of my views are like 1,000, 2,000 views. Used to be like 300, 400, 500 views. Now, if I have a video that's under 1,000 views, that's like not doing that great. Where that used to be like the top end. So I appreciate everything you're doing. You guys are all supporting what I'm doing, and I'm growing. And I'm gonna get better lighting. That's my goal this month, is to get better lighting. So it's pretty rad. So thank you, Matthew Jones. Keep them shaved. Basil Peterson. I just went to visit my mom 5 hours south of here, and the forests were full of dead and downed trees. Never saw so many ever in 50 years. Yeah, it's, you know, California. So we've had another very wet and snowy winter. So California is out of the drought, which is a good thing. And you're seeing a lot of green and lush, and there's no more drought from almost anywhere in California, I'm pretty sure, which is a good thing. But if we have the next 3 winters are dry, we'll be back in a drought again. And we gotta we gotta get involved in the environment. I don't know what else to say. Like, we talk about it, I feel like I'm screaming into the wind sometimes because people don't want to pay attention to it. And I don't know what else to do. So we got to just keep talking about it and post videos and show people. And, you know, I was back in Chicago for 10 days, and there were definitely some cold days, but there was very little snow on the ground in February. When I was a kid, it would snow in November and it wouldn't melt till April. There'd be 2-3 feet of snow on the ground all winter. So thanks for supporting the show, Basil, and thanks for sharing that with us. Because it's like, we're seeing it all over the place. Yeah, Biden is sloppy. Yeah, Joe Biden just slipped. Oh, it might be running, you know, at this thing in Delaware. I don't know if you saw that. And it's like, he's going to run. He can't help himself. Yeah. The problem with Americans is they would rather suffer themselves than see others prosper. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to take to get people to wake up. If Jesse Ventura runs, I'll back. Yeah, I'll back. If Jesse runs as a green, we'll see. I'm hoping that Tulsi will clarify on her use of excessive executive military force, wondering if she supports executive action for drone strikes, covert ops, etc. That power belongs to Congress exclusively. Yeah, that's a good point. That's something that definitely somebody needs to ask her point blank on. Not Stephen Colbert's ridiculous. He's just pushing the war machine's talking points. Just shows you how unbelievable. When he was, I remember he did and I was going to do a video on it, showing Stephen Colbert at the Washington press dinner or whatever, press correspondence. He made fun of Bush in 2006 for drone strikes and all this war stuff. And now he's backing the war machine, going after Tulsi, who's anti-interventionist. But she needs to be asked point blank about this. Is she going to keep drone striking? Is she going to keep doing these covert ops stuff and just keep this never-ending war thing going without asking Congress? Is she going to do that? Because we haven't asked Congress if it's okay to go to war since World War II. So I want to know how she stands on that for sure. Someone needs to ask her that point blank. I'd like to do it, but someone needs to ask her. Yeah, the snow seems to come in waves. Some decades are bad and some are. A friend of mine who's lived in Chicago for a long time said, he goes, we've had 3 actual winters out of the last 10. You know, like big snowstorms will come in, it'll be cold, and then a week later it'll be 40 degrees and everything melts. Hey, Chris, Natural Progressive. Got to do chores while you listen. I did an interview with Chris last week. Check it out. And also watch her show, Natural Progressive. Evaporation temp of the ocean is lowering. More weather to come. Absolutely. Hot dog rollers can't melt cash registers. Thank you for supporting the show. Of course, you can go over to Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Graham Melwood if you want to use the PayPal. And thanks to everybody that watched Ron and I last week do the super chat together. It was really cool. And it was a really well-viewed one with Ron and I. So we'll try to do more of those. Beaton O'Rourke, I pay $868 a month for an HMO. Beaton O'Rourke lied to my face in January 2017 about why he wasn't for HR 676 and talked about small dollar fundraising while Chucky the Shoe was sitting right behind him. He can go fuck himself with his custom mugshot dildo. Yep. Shave the Knuckles for Justice. Thank you for supporting me on the Streamlabs. Beto is just another... And I want to do a video on this because somebody sent this to me on Twitter and I've got to do a little more research if anyone can find some research on this. But it looks like all the states that Bernie could potentially win in the primary all have somebody running from them. That's why there's so many people running. Beto's from Texas, Liz Warren in Massachusetts, Kamala in California, Gillibrand, Minnesota. Like, there are all these big states that Bernie could win to just sweep up the primary, but they're running corporates to split his vote in every single of these major states. So pay close attention to that. Pay close attention to that. Thanks for supporting the show. The idea is to force the second vote and have the super delegates decide. Yeah. $120 watching. All sweet. Only 35 likes, guys. Hit the like button. Get the likes up. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, Amy Klobuchar, you're right. I forgot about her. Graham, how has the YouTube game treated you? You know, by and large, I like doing this stuff on YouTube has been really cool. And I honestly wish I would have gotten involved in YouTube when it first started, 10 years ago or whatever, or more than then, whatever. If I would have started YouTube 10 years ago, I would have a channel with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of subscribers. It would be great. So, and as far as doing, watching YouTube demonetize videos and mess with me and stuff like that, I see how, I don't like seeing that type of censorship. Overall, it's been a good thing. And then being forced to sign up for Patreon is good, and finding all these other revenue streams. I very much like this super chat feature. I love doing this every week. And even, I just did a live chat on Tuesday in my hotel room after my gig in Pensacola because I don't know, felt like talking. And I like the interactivity, and I like their data is really on point, but then I watch them mess with me and other independent progressives. I was talking when I did that interview with Kim Iverson, she's only a couple months into doing this. She's like, wow, I can't believe this. I'm like, yeah, welcome. This is what they do to us. And people that were doing it long before I got here were like, yep. And all that kind of started when I jumped in 2 years ago. So overall, it's great. And I mean, one of the great thing is doing the Progressive Comedy Tour, because I've been a stand-up comic for 25, 30 years. I've done 300 episodes of TV. I've done all these podcasts and all this stuff, and I've built up a little bit of a following. But the biggest following I've built up is by doing this and being a regular on Jimmy Dore and doing Aggressive Progressives and all that. So I really, really like this. And this is where this is where I'm pushing all my career. I want to do more directing and making movies. I love doing that. But my goal is to make this pay all my bills, because then I can do it anywhere. And I want it to make good money to where I can go travel and cover events, bring my camera, go show, Go show protests. Go show environmental issues around this country. Show it on camera right there. There it is. Cover it the way that CNN and Fox and all them won't cover it. So I really like doing it, and you guys are making it possible. If you guys weren't supporting the show, if I still just had 1,000 subscribers and nobody on my Patreon, I would have stopped doing this, because I couldn't put this much time into something and not make any money, but it keeps growing. So it's fantastic. Balthazar 228, shave the knuckles for justice. Dems in 2016, GOP has 16 candidates. What clowns? Dems in 2020, hold your beers. I'm so ready for the inevitable three-way that will be 2020, third party now. Yeah, I think this might be the year where a real third party happens. And maybe it's Bernie, if they screw him again in this second ballot superdelegate nonsense. He jumps ship and forms and just runs, you know, when they screw him over for Beto, Kamala Beto 2020 or whatever. It'd be awesome if that happened. Amy Comb the Shard. Haha. What's up, Zumba? Zumba Pup. Sean Komitz. What's up, Sean? Check out Sean's artwork. He's been supporting the show from early on. I appreciate it, dude. Listening in while clearing up my small apartment, sweeping up lots of knuckle hair. Boom. It's so funny. There's always somebody right now probably like, what does shave the knuckles for justice mean? I say this every week. It means nothing. I just did it once a couple months ago. I just punched the camera and said, shave the knuckles for justice. And now that's a thing. And we say it, and I'll probably make it into a t-shirt. So if anyone wants to send me some shave the knuckles for justice artwork, I'll do that. Thank you, Sean Komitz. Thank you for supporting the show. Check out Sean's artwork. He's a very talented artist. Ruth Benedict. Ruth Graham at Airwaves posted an article on Twitter today that I forwarded to you. It's about Trump not really pulling all the troops from Syria. Did you see it? No, Ruth, I have not seen that yet, but I will check it. I was out surfing today, so I haven't really been online. It's been beautiful here. Oh, I flew back Thursday and went surfing Thursday afternoon because I hadn't surfed in a month. And I know that some of you might be like, oh, surfing. But I need it. I need to be, I suggest being in nature, whatever. It helps with stress and all this stuff. For me, it's surfing. When I'm in the water, first of all, looking at the blue sky, the color blue helps stimulate creativity in your brain. Also, looking at the ocean, it puts your brain in a meditative state, which helps sort of reset your brain. I highly suggest just 20 to 30 minutes of either meditating or even just taking a nap every day. It really helps. Like a lot of times I'll be working at home all day and I'm getting ready to, and I get all my videos put together, and then I'll go lay down for like 20, 30 minutes and then come record. So I'm like more clear-headed, or if I have a show, I like doing that. Yeah, so I've just been surfing a lot. So I haven't looked at that, Ruth, but I will. Show Ruth some love. Ruth, we'll see on the East Coast, but I will look at that video, and I appreciate you sending it to me. Yeah, you need to go on a forest walk soon. Being out in nature is the best. Cat B, what's up? Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar brought his boyfriend to meet Mike Pence. Best St. Patty's Day ever. I heard that. I was like, that guy is awesome. First of all, there's an openly gay prime minister, right on. You know, that's cool. And that he did that to meet Mike Pence. What did Mike Pence just show up with a taser to shock the gay out of him? So great. It's so great. So thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you, Ruth. Don't worry, I'll read your article. OTR Tucker, shave the knuckles for justice. The more you pay the worker, the more the consumer spends, the more companies make. Socialism is finding ways to put more money into the most hands. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. People are like, oh, God, minimum wage is going to be $15. Then what? How can we survive? Well, if everybody's minimum wage is $15, then there's more employees in your community at other businesses that can spend money with your business. It's a good thing. Good point, OTR Trucker. Thank you for supporting the show. Matthew Alabastro. Thank you for supporting the show, Matthew. Shave the knuckles for justice. Boom. Boom. One big dirty knuckle. Come on. You know, I think she really wants to. I think she really wants to. But my guess is there's a bunch of people around her saying maybe she shouldn't. She keeps saying, I'm not going to run. People within her campaign, I'm not going to run. And if Biden runs, then that's what she'll do. She'll get behind Biden. You know, and he'll hint at some sort of Biden, Hillary VP or I don't know what. She'll finagle her way in there somehow. But I don't think she's going to flat out run. I wouldn't be surprised if she did. But I think when it really comes down to it, I don't think she will. That's my guess, Matthew. Thank you for supporting the show. Good question. Balthazar 228. Look at those knuckles of justice shaved for the truth of a glistening bald knuckle. That's not creepy. That's not creepy. That's on me. I made it creepy. It's my fault. I'm going to drink some water because that was creepy. Baseball starting. This is the Cubs 2016 World Series mug that they sold at Arby's, I believe, in the Chicago area. It was given to me. Balthazar 228. One day Graham's going to have a super nice patron with alopecia, and he's not going to know what to say. Yeah, I know. He won't be able to shave his knuckles, but if I have an alopecia supporter, we will then, for him or her, I will say, knuckle codpiece for justice. That's my commitment to you. I'm so pumped now that I have a comedian friends in my regular daily life with standing gigs. Right on. Awesome. Political Vigilante Live in Hollywood, April 18th. And you know what's happening May 12th in Salt Lake City? A Political Vigilante Live. You got to come to the live shows. The stand-up progressive comedy tours are great. Ron and I each do like 45-minute sets. It's fantastic. And we've gotten some cool openers and stuff like that. But you got to come to the live Political Vigilantes. We do the Political Vigilante game show. Even if you don't win, you'll get a parting gift, like a thing of Speed Stick deodorant, something you need. So thank you, Balthazar 228. Crystal Church. What's up, Crystal? Shave your knuckles for justice. Hey there. No question. Just wanted to say thanks for all you do. We'll catch a show of yours sometime, maybe when you hit up the South Bay again. Lots of aloha. Ooh. South Bay, like South Bay, SoCal? Or San Diego? But aloha to you, Crystal Church. Yeah, so Ron and I just booked in Vegas in July. We're going to do Vegas. Technically, it's Henderson, but July, I think 27th, it's a Saturday, and we're looking to book more gigs. Like we might go to Tucson or Phoenix or Flagstaff or Sedona or something. Maybe come back to San Diego. I don't know. We did San Diego last time. It was pretty cool. Not a huge turnout, but it was still good. So thank you, Crystal Church. Beto 2020, Extinction 2035. Marcia Smith, is the Stay in Your Lane comedy show off? No, it is happening March 23rd, which is a week, this coming Saturday. So those are at GrahamElwood.com. If you're in Tarzana or in the Valley or LA area, this coming Saturday, March 23rd, Steph Zamorano is going to be there doing a set. Marilyn Rice Cub, who played Zoe on 24, is going to be there. My friend Mike Siegel. Come out. GrahamElwood.com. Tickets are only $10. They have drink specials, free parking. It is the cheapest night of comedy, and it's all pros. It's not like an open mic. It's really solid acts. Steph will be there, so come check it out. $15 an hour is only $32,100 a year. Why is that so crazy? Exactly. And the person making $32,000 versus the person making, 24, the 32, they have more money to spend, like we just talked about. Come to Oakland. We'll tell you about that. 31 too. Yeah, okay. Yep. What's up, Crystal? Yeah, I'll try to. Let me think. It says, yeah, I'm getting a flesh colored glove so I can fit it with progressives when it's on and rednecks when it's off. Nice. $15 an hour is below poverty level. $15 an hour is crazy. Billionaire CEOs need more money. Way to fight the good fight, Tom. I hear you. Should be 20 an hour. Yeah. The cost of everything is a poor tax. Lefty from Texas, what's up? Minimum wages today will not allow you to buy a car today. Wage in the 60s allowed you to buy a house and a car. How much now do you owe just for your education? Absolutely. Absolutely. My college, and I went to an out-of-state school, right, was $8,000 a year. It was $32,000 for me to get a 4-year degree at the University of Arizona. That same degree now is something like 100 some grand, 150. It's insane. How can anyone afford anything? How can anyone send a kid to college? I don't get it. It's not possible. Yeah. Rents are so high, no one can afford a home, more homeless, suffering, and depression. Yeah, Southern California. We've talked about this. Like Nomiki Kantz talks about, she's like in New York City, minimum wage needs to be $25 an hour. Southern California should be at least 20 or 25. In major cities, San Francisco, Chicago, they should be, I mean, it's, and when rents are through the roof, it's not, I don't know what the end game is when they just keep pumping everything up. Yeah, the 1% are buying up all the land and exploiting us. I graduated college in 1998. I just finished paying my student loans. I retire in 2020. Yep. How crazy is that? Affordable homes is crazy socialist nonsense. Wage labor is ending. Interesting point. I met a woman at the show in Pensacola, came up to Ron and I. She was probably in her late 50s, and she was originally from Germany. She's been living in Florida for a long time. And she said, you know, Graham, these things that Americans are fighting for, we're just a given. She goes, I got an MBA in Germany for free. My college was paid for. I got a good job, healthcare, everything paid for. That's why Germany is a really nice society and has a low poverty rate and low crime and all this. Like when people say, we can't afford, like we can't afford it. It's better for everybody. Less crime, less homelessness. Homelessness isn't good for anybody. All right. All right. Somebody got the big B, the big block. Yeah, I know. Exactly, Alexander. Germany survived Hitler, and now they're so thriving. They like came back from that, which is amazing. Yeah, the end game is capitalism eats itself ultimately. The very people they prey upon will no longer be able to participate in the system they created. A complete implosion is coming. Yeah, Ruth Benedict, I believe you're right. Unfortunately, I mean, I've talked about this a lot just from everything that I'm reading is that, you know, all these economists and everybody are predicting another collapse because they didn't Obama didn't regulate anything. Bush didn't regulate it. Nobody did anything. No regulations happened. So another one's coming, and then what? And just where I live, I'm seeing a lot of the rents are so out of control. There was this restaurant by me that used to do a little comedy show that I would pop in and do. And they had a good business going. These two guys ran it. They did a good job. And they said we couldn't afford the rent. The rent was $27,500 for a restaurant. That's $27,500 before you spend a nickel on insurance, on wages, on wholesale costs, on utilities, it's insane. And just like I've seen more closed businesses just in my neighborhood than I've seen anywhere else. And then when we were driving through Mississippi, oh boy. No wonder Trump won. All these people are out of work. They got no hope. And they said, the Democrats aren't going to help us. Hillary just called us deplorables. So I might as well vote for this lunatic. And some of them are like, Trump's, I don't know. Why not? He's a jackass. Some of them love him. There's a lot of racists that love him. And I'm not excusing those people at all, but I understand where that came from. People have no chance, no hope, no nothing. You just call them deplorable and tell them, oh, just go to college. Where? Mississippi's the poorest state in the union. Bob Swanick, shave the knuckles for justice, Bob. Any opinion about Fox being eliminated from the debates? I think their presence helps Bernie and Tulsi. Am I crazy to think this way? See you in New York City. Yes, we will see you in New York City. That's the East Coast tour, New York City, June 17th. So the East Coast tour, I'll say this real quick. June 12th, DC, the 13th, Baltimore, 14, 15, Philly, 16, New Haven, Connecticut, 17, New York City, 18, Boston. We might add more dates. Come out. The New York, because those are all big cities and we don't play huge venues, the tickets are already moving in all of those cities. So get your tickets now. But Bob, you ask a great question. I think eliminating Fox from the debates was a dumb move by the Democratic Party. It was a dumb move. And I think, or it was intentional to not let Bernie's message resonate with red state people. Because they know Bernie's message resonates with red state voters. They saw him do it. They know this, look, he won a lot of red states against Hillary. He won a lot of red districts because he resonates with working class people. When he did that town hall meeting in West Virginia on CNN after the election, after Hillary lost, and all these like red state Trump voting, coal workers from West Virginia were like, Bernie, yeah, they know this. It's Bernie and Tulsi would absolutely, but that's the thing. Those are the two candidates Wall Street doesn't want. So I think, and it also just shows you how out of touch the Democratic Party wants everybody divided. They don't want anyone unified. And look at the those Fox polls. I've done some videos on this. 70% of Fox viewers want the 10 people making $10 million a year to pay 70% in taxes. Fox is aware that their viewers are going more socialist. So if the Democratic Party blocks them, then there you go. They're handing the election to Trump. So I think it should. I think it was stupid. I agree with you, Bob, that their presence does help Bernie and Tulsi. Absolutely. See you in the Big Apple, brother. Zay Sevens, Zach Seven, Zay Sevench. Zasevinch, shave your knuckles for justice. Thanks for doing all you do. Heard you practice martial arts. I do too. What arts? Can you talk a bit on it? I think if everyone practiced self-defense, we'd be in a totally different political landscape. Thoughts? Man, I agree with that. And a great question. So I started 15 years ago studying Yoshikai, which is an Okinawan style of karate at the Jerry Blanks Martial Arts in Pacific Palisades. So we did a lot of traditional karate forms and katas. For those of you who don't know, katas are like the style, like a series of moves together. It's sort of the art part of martial arts. We did a lot of weapons. I learned the bow, the sai, the bow, the sai, and nunchucks. I learned those weapons. I earned a black belt in that style. And also Jerry Blank, the guy who created the dojo, he studied that side, but he also was a professional kickboxer. So we did a lot of sparring. So we spent most of the class I liked. It was like half we'd spend doing the traditional stuff and weapons, and then we'd also spend some time actually sparring. So we did a lot of sparring. And I also then at that school got turned on to Iai Jitsu, which is a the samurai sword. And that I got turned on to Master Shimabukuro, who was one of the greatest living swordsmen. He passed away in, I believe, September of 2012. And I had the pleasure and the honor of training with him for 1.5 years. And he has a book called Flashing Steel. The most amazing part about this book, the whole first half of it is Buddhist and samurai philosophy. The second half of it, he doesn't get into technique. And his thinking and that book really opened my eyes more to the philosophy of martial arts, not to just go kick ass. And someone asked me, like, you ever used it? And I was like, have I ever used like punches and kicks and blocks? No, not really, but I've used the physical presence of martial arts to diffuse situations. Like, I remember I was walking in Washington, D.C. at a comedy festival with this female comic. She was kind of walking ahead of me, and this homeless guy was like, fuck you. You know, he's out of his mind. He was acting violent and aggressive, and he turns towards her, and he's like, fuck you. And I just quickly got in front of her. So I put myself between the homeless guy and her. And I got on the balls of my feet, and I put my hands up like this, which is something I was trained to do. So I'm ready to defend myself. And I said, I just agreed with the guy. He's like, fuck. I go, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's awful. We're sorry, man. But I was looking him straight in the eye, and he might have been a little out of it, but he saw, like, oh, I'm not going to go I can't mess with this guy on a conscious or even just a subconscious level. And I wasn't aggressive. I didn't say, what'd you say? I just said, oh, it's cool. I get it. But I was up and I was looking him dead in the eye. And that's something I learned in martial arts, how to diffuse a situation. That's a big samurai thing, is how can I diffuse a conflict? You know, there's a saying, victory comes with the sword still in the scabbard. Because if I draw my sword and you draw yours, then something bad's going to happen to one or both of us. That's the same thing with fighting. You know, this is a martial arts. You can get hurt. You could be a UFC champ, and if you could break something. So it's helped me show restraint. When my ex-girlfriend, as I said in my Me Too story, got violent with me and came at me, and she was like, I don't know, on something or whatever, went nuts. I just went, okay. Because I knew that as a man, if I react in any way, even just block or grab her arm, and the cops show up and there's a grab mark, I'm going to jail. So I just tried to diffuse it. I would have acted very differently if a guy came at me that way, but she was violent and mean and said verbally abusive things for like a week or so before she actually moved out. Even when she came back to get stuff, she said all this awful stuff to me. And I believe it was martial arts, the training of martial arts, that kept me restrained, even though emotionally I was hurt, I was angry, I was all of these things. So to go to your question, I agree. If everybody practiced self-defense, not fucking kick-ass fighting, but not meathead shit, but like the true art of martial arts. And now I study at the Insanto Academy that teaches Jeet Kune Do. It's Dan Insanto, and I study that in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from like the Machados. And the philosophy there is use what works for you. And again, there's these amazing martial artists. I mean, God, I feel like I've never studied a minute in my life. There's such new, different stuff. And there's, I mean, like people that are instructors in one style will be like white belts in another class, and there's no ego or any of that stuff. And I think if everybody had that, you learn when you study the true martial arts and the philosophy behind it, and the only as an absolute last resort. I've had instructors say, only if your life or somebody else's life is in danger do you use it. And I think there's a respect that comes, and also why I've said, you know, guns, we get in an argument, fuck you, bam, well, someone's dead. It's just, it's too easy. I know, as angry as I've been and just hurt, and I know that if I get into something with somebody, I'm putting my own body on the line. So it's really like, let's diffuse this. Let's come to an agreement. Let's settle down before people get hurt. And I think if everybody studied in the actual philosophy, the Eastern philosophy of it, I think we would be in a much better place. I think if we studied meditation, which is part of martial arts, it should be, I think the world would be a much better place. That's my opinion. So thanks, man, for supporting the show. Balthazar228. Thank you for supporting the show. Shave the knuckles. I've had to use my second Dan level techniques in Aikido twice. In both cases, I was only concerned with subduing as a last result. Both ended peacefully. Yeah. Right. You know, you're a martial art. You know. Because the other thing, there's also a legal thing. I don't know what the laws are like where you live, but in California, if you hurt, just like someone like says, and I had so many instructors say, a guy going fuck you is not a threat. Be careful, but that's not enough for you to fight. Because if you hit somebody and you have any training at all in martial arts in the state of California, it's assault with a weapon. The charges go up, and it makes it a lot worse. So you better know how to diffuse things. That's a great point you bring up. How can we diffuse this peacefully? Let's settle down. Let's settle down. You know, because if you just get on top of someone and you start busting people up, man, guess what? You're going to go to jail, and that's not what martial arts is. It's self-discipline, a self-focus, and how to diffuse. I say this time and time again. It's victory comes with the sword still in the scabbard. And what if our president and our Congress all thought and trained that way and studied that way? Not let me whip out my big drone strike dick and fucking set you on fire, but how can we come to a reasonable conclusion where you regain your honor and I regain mine? We both walk away shaking hands. That's better for everybody. But we need more Eastern philosophy in America. I'll tell you that right now. Thanks for supporting the show. Did I miss somebody? Balthazar228. Thanks again, brother. Shave the knuckles. The only thing in touch about the Dems is they're candidates who should absolutely not be touching anyone. Do earthquake regions do shelf defense? Yeah, we do shelf defense, Balthazar228. You should have your shelves if you have big, like, they have earthquake straps. If you have like a big bookshelf so that doesn't come crashing down. There's ways to secure paintings and stuff like that. So they do have shelf defense. I know you're making a joke, but I'm just telling you that's true. Great questions. Ruth Benedict. Thank you, Ruth. Sorry to hear about that tragic time in your life with your ex. You are a stronger person for sharing that peace cramp. Thank you, Ruth. Yeah, some of you might be new to the channel. So in, I think, January 6th, I posted a video. I told my whole Me Too story. What happened to me as a kid and then what my ex did. A month ago, February 15th, I went back to court because the restraining order was a 1-year restraining order. It was set to expire. And so I went back to court because she violated the restraining order in June at this comedy club. And a judge gave me a 5-year renewal. So that goes back to the martial art question. And there were these guys there from this comedy club that I'm told they're all doing cocaine together or whatever. And part of me wanted to just like, you know, felt threatened and scared and wanted to, you know. And I just stayed focused and calm and just used the courts and had a lawyer and provided the evidence. I didn't lie. I'm not going to make anything up, you know. She told me she grew up shooting guns. She got in a violent rage and threatened to kill me a 1.5 years ago. Violated the restraining order June 2nd. I had the court papers and I just stayed focused and calm like you learn in martial arts. Like I've started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm only about 4 or 5 months in. So I'm new to ground fighting, but there's a guy on top of you trying to tap you out. And one of the things you learn is how to stay focused even when there's attacks when someone is trying to even sparring. Because if you're like, then you make a mistake or you run out of energy. So just that helped me. And I applied that to like, okay, I'm going to protect myself. This is a woman that, you know, for 2.5 years was loving and kind and sweet, literally held me in her arms. When I confided in her, I was abused as a kid. And when I cried, and then she starts drinking and doing drugs, and 6 weeks later is violent with me, threatens to kill me, and says and makes fun of me for being abused as a kid. I think only my martial arts training and some support group stuff and therapy and a lot of other things, it takes a village, it takes a team of people, help me get through that without going nuts or killing myself or being violent or death by suicide by cop or any of that stuff. And this last year and a half has been one of the most challenging things I've ever had to go through my entire life. And then one of the most rewarding, because when you're faced with that kind of darkness, you have a choice. Excuse me. You have a choice. Go to the dark, deny it, repress it, which doesn't work. It's a form of going into the dark, or embracing it and asking for help. Asking for help is one of the most courageous things you can do. I wish my friend Brody Stevens would have asked for help. He took his own life. So I think a lot of that martial art philosophy, and then I've read the book Striking Thoughts by Bruce Lee, and also the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. Striking Thoughts is a pretty good book philosophically. So having to go through all of that, Ruth, was really, really challenging and really hard and painful, but also like, I feel like I've gone through, I'm not trying to be overly dramatic or whatever, but I feel like I went through a spiritual transformation. And I think that's what has to happen when you go through that kind of stuff. So thanks for supporting the show. Alex Rosenboom. Boom. Shave your knuckles, Alex. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate all the support. Hi, Graham. What do you think about Jesse Ventura? Please do the Jimmy Dore impression of Jesse V. I don't quite know Jimmy's, but I was doing the Ron Placoto and I were doing this when we did Aggressive Progressive with Brigitte. I love Jesse, and I'll get to his running in a second. If he runs, good for him. Awesome. I'm all for it. I'm like, anything that pulls this country more to the left, I'm all for it. And challenges the Democratic Party, I'm all for it. We should do this. You know, Brigitte, when I was in the Mekong Delta eating rat meat, that's what I knew. I needed to run for president. That's not a great impression, but yeah, Alex, it's I watched The World According to Jesse a lot. I really like what he has to say. I like Brigitte Santos. Like I said, I met her. She did Aggressive Progressive with Ron and I several months ago. And I hope he does. He's no nonsense. And what are you going to say to that guy? He's a Navy SEAL. You're going to call him he's not a vet, he's not a patriot, he doesn't care about this country? You're going to say that to an ex-Navy SEAL. Good luck. So, yeah, I hope he runs. I really do. And I hope they put him on stage. They should. Like, let's say Bernie gets the nomination. I hope Bernie goes, yeah, let's bring him on stage, and let's bring the Libertarian candidate too. Let's bring them all on stage. Wouldn't that be great? That's a pretty baller move. That's a gangster move. I mean, that's what I would do, because then it's like, I'm not afraid of anybody. I'd love to hear what Jesse Ventura has to say. I'd love to hear what the Democrats are always blocking and trying to control everything. They're the psychopaths. So thanks for supporting the show, Alex. That's what I think. Well, thank you for shaving your knuckles for Jesse. Eric Oldenburg, Detective Shemon. Hey, brother, keep up the good work. Eric, let's talk, brother. I want to interview you now that you're no longer in that other job. We'll have you on the show, and you can float around on this big screen. And you can just say stuff like, I want the curb. I'm doing inside jokes with one guy. Anyway, it's my good friend, Eric Oldenburg. Thanks for supporting the show, buddy. Shave the knuckles for justice. It's not the point. It's not the point. Thanks, buddy. 164 people watching, 88 likes. Hit the like button, guys. Boom, boom, pow. Boom, 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 pow. Thanks for supporting. You guys are doing great supporting the show. I love it. Boom, boom, pow. Let's see if there's anybody over at the Streamlabs. Oh, yes, there are. Zach donated 10 bucks. Zach, thank you so much. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Streamlabs.com/Graham Elwood. Folks, if you do that, the money goes through PayPal. If you don't want to do through, they take a little bit of a percentage. YouTube, I've now found out this super chat money goes directly to me. They don't take a percentage. It's the what is it? The ad money they take a percentage of. Zach, Graham never stopped. Thank you so much for being you. Your efforts are something that keeps me going, and I can't wait to see you when you're here in Austin, Texas, to the Revolution for the People. Right on, Zach. We'll see you in Austin. Keep it weird. I love Austin. I haven't been there in a couple of years. I love it. I used to go to South by Southwest every year, so I'm pumped. I haven't been through Texas in a while. I've never been to San Antonio, which is awesome. I've performed in Fort Worth and Austin and Houston, but I'm jacked up, man. We're talking to the DSA. If you're a member of any organization in Texas, the DSA or Movement for a People's Party or the Greens or anybody like that, and you want to come to the shows, please email me, info@grahamelwood.com. And you can set up, we had the DSA was at our show in New Orleans. You can set up a table, hand out flyers after the show. We do a whole big meet and greet after the show, photos, autographs, all that stuff's free. You can buy merch if you want. We've got these new bumper stickers that Ron made that say, the word liberal is crossed out, and then it says progressive, and it says Progressive Comedy Tour underneath it. And those help support the tour. So thank you, Zach. We'll see you in Austin, brother. Natural Progressive, what's up, Chris? Shave your knuckles for justice, Utah style. I don't know what that means. You're helping so many by speaking out. I want as many in the stage as possible. Right on, yeah. Because first of all, watch Natural Progressive, guys. It's a cool show. Isn't that what a democracy is? It's not two parties. I want to see Jesse debate Bernie or Tulsi. Wouldn't you like to see that? Not just Trump. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. That'd be good for democracy. Maybe Jesse pulls Bernie more to the left on his foreign policy. Maybe Jesse calls out Bernie's like, yeah, he sounds a little interventionist-y to me. That'd be great. That's good for America. I'm all for it. Oh, there's too many progressives and Trump will win again. If you can't beat Trump, that's not my problem. It's not my problem. So democracy, in other countries, Canada, and people who are from these countries who are here now, please speak up. I've seen it, though, in other countries. They'll have 4 or 5 candidates on stage, nationally televised during the prime minister or the presidential debates. Why can't we have that? Why can't we have what everybody else has? Like, I'm fucking so tired of the two parties. Thanks, Chris, for supporting the show. Rosenfeld 10 brings up a good. Jesse would win a bunch of Trump supporters. I'm sure he would. That's the other thing too. It's such a great point. Is this notion like when everyone's like, "Oh, Jill Stein, she cost Hillary." How do you know? Gary Johnson got more votes than Jill Stein did. I know liberals that voted for Gary Johnson. I know people that are very left, very liberal progressives that voted for like, no, I'm going to vote for Gary Johnson. So this notion that Jill Stein took away votes from Hillary is preposterous. And you're absolutely right. I know red state conservatives that voted for Jill Stein. And you better believe Trump supporters, the Republicans, would vote for Jesse Ventura. Because he would resonate. Because the way he talks, he's an ex-Navy SEAL. He was a governor. He rides a motorcycle. I mean, he's just like what I say is like when Trump won, I was like, we need a progressive Trump, a guy that just doesn't give a shit about offending you, only stands for progressive things, not crazy racist walls and Nazi bullshit like Trump. That's Jesse Ventura. That's Jesse Ventura. He's not going to care. He'd say whatever the hell he wants to say, but the difference is he would believe it because he has integrity. He's not just going to say what his base wants to hear like Trump did. I'd love it. Gary Johnson sucks. Yeah, maybe. But my point is there should be a lot of, Let Gary Johnson get on a stage and debate and show how he doesn't know what he's talking about, if that's the case. You shouldn't be, if I'm in a stand-up comedy competition with open micers and people that I know, I'm not worried about, I'm not going to try to block them from performing. Yeah, and Jesse does know the 9/11 story is complete bullshit. Katie Kate is not afraid to be balding. Ah, crazy punk till I die. It's the oldest play in the book to blame everyone so no one has to look at themselves. I'm telling you, the Democratic Party, I do a joke in my act, is like an alcoholic that blames everybody else. Like an active alcoholic that you try to have an intervention for, and they just keep drinking and they blame everyone else. Oh man, my boss fucked me. No, you showed up late because you were hungover 9 days in a row. That's what you did. You were drinking at the job. That's what it was. Hit the like button, guys. 175 people watching, 114 likes. I love it. I pity the fools that joined the presidential race after Bernie announced. Disappointed that Jesse and Arnold didn't team up for an all-gubernatorial action flick ticket. That'd be great. Am I singing tonight, Ruth? I don't know. I might. What song do you want to hear me sing? Sarah Z brings up a great point. If Jill Stein voters wanted to vote for Hillary Clinton, they would have. Yeah, I know. But God forbid the Democratic Party actually earns a vote. They just own your vote. You guys call yourself left, they own your vote. Shut up, they get your vote. Stop complaining. Vote for whatever corporate Wall Street warmonger we're going to throw down your faces and shut up. I'm Kathy Griffin. Join the Yang Gang, secure the bang. All right, now we're just doing wacky slogans. Oh. Gun law parody. Thank you for supporting me on the streamlabs.com/Graham Elwood. Goes right into the PayPal. Just when I deposit my knuckle hair right into PayPal. My knuckle hair is as valuable as Bitcoin. Each knuckle hair represents Bitcoin. Knuckle hair is going to be the new currency. I know what I'm talking about. Despite my black belt, second level in Aikido, and my first level in Aido, more than a decade of training in both, it's illegal to have more than a 3-inch blade, sheathed or unsheathed, out in the open. Somehow, open carry is still okay. Yeah, that's such a great point. That is, man, did you bring up a great point. Going back to the martial art thing. You cannot have, in California, any martial art weapons, especially nunchucks, on your person or in your car unless you are only driving to or from a martial arts class. Because they're like, well, we had to clamp down because people were just whipping their... Oh, but we can just have guns out everywhere? That's insane. So my nunchucks are more dangerous than a gun? Really? Great point, man. Gun law parody. Balthazar did do it. Gun law parody. RCV donated on the Streamlabs, shaving the knuckles for justice. When the Democrats are asking you to vote for the lesser of two evils, they are admitting their candidate isn't your first choice. Good point. If they want your second, hold on, this got changed. Yeah, if they want your second, third, fourth vote, they need to give you more than one vote. Ranked choice voting. Yeah, HR 3057. Man, we talk about ranked choice voting a lot on this show, and I love bringing it up because it's something we got to just keep hammering because it's a great point. It is a great point. Ranked choice voting. Gets everyone more involved. They want it. They want small voter turnouts. They want to keep people unable to vote. They want to or control it and have non-paper ballots, and they want all that crap. Smaller voting pool, easier it is to manipulate. But thanks for bringing that up. Fernando Fernandez, thank you for supporting on the super chat. Shave your knuckles. What are your thoughts on Tulsi being the first to denounce the Trump-Putin puppet narrative? Will this help or hurt her? It helps her in my eyes. And most progressives, it helps. I think it's good because I think what I'm starting to see now more in the mainstream is people going, wait a minute, this isn't right. Like Elon talking about, why are we giving money to AIPAC? And you're seeing younger Jewish people who are questioning things, because I saw on, I think it was Real News Network, these two people were talking about this, and they were both older Jewish people, and they said they were in like their late 40s and 50s. One of them was like 50s, one was a little older. And they said, our era, we were just told to blindly, you support Israel. If you're Jewish American, whatever, you support Israel no matter what. And she's like, younger Jews are going, no, wait a minute. And it's fair. And being critical of AIPAC doesn't make you automatically anti-Semitic or a self-hating Jew. You're being critical of a lobby organization, just like being critical of the NRA or Big Pharma or the oil lobby. You get a right to, and I think more people are starting to wake up to that fact. And people are starting to go, God, Putin, Russia, Putin. People are getting called out. And I think what Tulsi's doing is a good thing. I showed you that poll. Tulsi is not, of all of the whatever 15 or 20 candidates that are currently running for Democrat, she's only getting 3 or 4% or something like that. While Bernie's getting 27 and Biden is getting like 30 or 31%. She's got a long uphill battle because it's all about fundraising at this point. Bernie's kicking everyone's ass in fundraising. So what she should be doing is being honest and just saying, this is what I believe in, and run on who she is. Not like, oh, I'm afraid to. She's like, I shouldn't say that because it'll get, I don't want to, then you're just another corporate Democrat. If she's a real progressive, then she should say this because it's true. Nina Turner said it like a year and a half ago. She was like, oh, people are enough hearing about Russia. People in my district and around the country that she talks to, like, they're trying to pay their bills. They don't care about Russia, and most Americans don't either. So I'm glad she said it. Boom. Ray Foley, thank you for supporting the show. Shave the Knuckles for Justice. Thanks for telling Jimmy about Brian Lopez's campaign. I could tell you did. He's going to win, I'm pretty sure, and he's going to Talia Hall. Yeah. Thanks, Ray. Ray brought us about. So Brian Lopez is running for alderman. So Chicago, if you don't know, is broken up into wards. And so you have an alderman of each ward, and then they go to the city council, kind of like Congress, just on a smaller scale with the city of Chicago. And he's a real progressive. And Ray Foley came to one of my shows at Zany's in St. Charles and told me about this guy. And it's in the same ward that Thalia Hall is, where Jimmy sold out last summer, where we're going in July. And that's a thing. If you live in that ward, or you know somebody that lives in the ward, vote for this guy. He made it to a runoff in April. He made the top 2 a couple weeks ago. And this is the thing I'm talking about. Get real progressives in your city council, being your alderman. And that ward where Thalia Hall is, the Pilsen, has been a very Latino neighborhood for years and decades. It's starting to get gentrified. Big developers are coming in and all this stuff. And it's like, that's not good. That's not good for any city. So thanks, Ray. I'm glad to get the word out, and that stuff like that helps. I mean, 2 members of the DSA made it, I think, to Chicago city politics. So these are good things. My pleasure, Ray. Thanks for making me aware, because when I can make it aware, I can make Jimmy and other people aware. This is how we get the news out, because the mainstream media won't let us do it. You guys are helping get information out. You're helping make a change. You're all political vigilantes. Krillin876, thank you for supporting the show. Shave the knuckles. I was listening to R.S. Spencer's alt-right live stream. Where is it? They're leaving Trump and jumping on a Yang. Do you know anything about Yang? I don't know that much about Yang. I need a little more work on him. It's crazy the alt-right is going to UBI. Unreal. One thing it shows you, I don't support that alt-right. There's national fascism and neo-Nazis in there. I don't like that shit at all. But it does show you the abandonment of the working class and toxic capitalism is what creates nationalists and fascism and allows demagogues like Trump to run and win. I've said this time and time again. We've all said this. The Democratic Party would just stick with the workers like they did under FDR. They would never lose. They would never lose. If Obama was like, free healthcare for everybody, student debt forgiveness, $15 an hour. If Obama would have done all that in his 8 years of being president, 2 of which he had control of the House and Senate, first of all, the Democrats never would have lost control of the House and Senate had he done this, but he didn't, because the Democrats are bought and paid for. So it's not surprising that UBI is resonating with the alt-right in the sense that some of them are just working class or poor white people that have been disenfranchised. And this is what happens. People get disenfranchised. They have no chance, no hope. And they go to nationalists. They go to gangs. They go to, the radicalized Muslims, many of them are just young men in their 20s or whatever who've got no hope, no jobs, and America's blowing the shit out of wherever they live. So they they get radicalized. The neo-Nazis radicalize people. Inner city gangs do that. You grew up in an inner city, there's no hope, there's no jobs, there's no school. Well, if you work for the gang, you get money. The mob, that's standard. So it's not surprising that they're going for Yang. I need to know more about him. Admittedly, I don't know enough about him, but thank you for bringing that up. Robert, Mother's Day off. Thank you for supporting on the Streamlabs.com. Who's ready for hashtag Robert Mueller's Day Off? The most anti-Semitic thing one can do is blindly support a country that claims to represent the Jewish faith and commits atrocities in its name. Supporting Israel is endorsing negative connotations of Jews. That's a great point. That's a great point. It's like this country when we act like we're all Christian and everything. Well, it's not very Christian to bomb poor people. It's not very Christian to build a wall and separate families who would just want a better life because drug cartel violence is out of control or a government's been destabilized because of the United States CIA. And the drug cartels are fed mostly by American drug consumers. Americans are buying most of the drugs. That's why the drug cartels have all that money and power and can commit all those awful things that people don't want to live in anymore. Just poor people want to come for a better life. You're not a Christian then. And if you call yourself Jewish and you are okay with Israeli soldiers gunning down unarmed Palestinians and cheering about it, that's despicable. I don't know of any organized religion that's okay. We're killing someone like that and cheering about it is a good, I don't know what religion that's for. Look, if Tibet got all this power and he was using its military and was crushing people in the Bhutan, let's say, which I believe it borders. Let's say Tibet had got its own power, we reinstated it. We gave the Dalai Lama back and he was the ruler of Tibet. We took it out of China's hands and we let the Tibetans rule. And then they started getting greedy and powerful and they started abusing people in the Bhutan. I would be critical. I consider myself, I've studied a lot of Buddhism. Would I be a self-hating Buddhist if I said that? No, I'd be saying atrocities are wrong and Buddhism doesn't support any form of murder. And neither does any other Judeo-Christian religion. Islam doesn't support it. These fucking horrifying white nationalists in New Zealand. It's awful. Abuse of power is an abuse of power. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. cops shooting unarmed people, mainly unarmed black men? That's horrifying. Do I hate all cops and want to murder all cops and don't want police? No, I didn't say that. I have friends that are cops. Come on. It's okay to have these discussions. I'm not going to back down anymore. Someone calls me, oh, the reasons I don't like Kamala Harris are her corporate policies. It doesn't mean I hate black women. It doesn't make me racist and sexist. I'd support Nina Turner in a heartbeat. So. Balthazar228, thank you for supporting on the super chat. Shave your knuckles. Claiming criticism of Israel as anti-Semitic is like claiming criticism of Louis C.K. is anti-comedian. Ha! Great point. When a group is actively making my people look bad, I have the right to deny them any protections. Thanks, man. Thanks for saying that. I really appreciate it. That's a great thing. Brian McManus, thank you for supporting the show. Happy St. Patrick's Day. If you have problems in your life, they're not caused by people with no money and no power. Jimmy Dore, keep punching up. Absolutely. I know. That's the crazy thing. But the ruling class has created that. They want us fighting with each other. They want us blaming the immigrants. Immigrants don't come steal our jobs. Billionaires do. I'm going to put that on Twitter. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Brian. You're absolutely right. 179 viewers, 135 likes. Boom, boom. Shave your knuckle and thumb it up. That was creepy. Balthazar228 is a chef and is also a degree in engineering. Right on. You guys are awesome. Yeah. Weaponized identity politics will destroy the young and new radicals. They are shortcut to actual justice to all. Good point. Thank you, David. I'm glad you liked the show. Did Yang listen to Jack Ma at the Sochi Vidal discussion that October? Sounds like Jack Ma's. I don't know about that. Oh, Jimmy said that on yesterday's super chat. Right on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna put this on Twitter right now. I just thought of this. I'm gonna put this on Twitter right now. Putting on Twitter right now. Immigrants didn't steal your job. Billionaires did. Boom. I like this. Just tweeted. 16:28 hours Pacific Standard Time on Sunday, March 25th, by the financially insolvent and financially insecure and financially troubled U.S. military veteran Max Rayfield Waller. I'm not sure what that is in reference to. Sorry, did I miss something? Is that? Identity politics, how the elites keep us separated by walls of confusion. Good point. Absolutely. Question everything. Graham, can you interview Daniel Ellsberg? I'm not quite familiar with who that is, but send me their info or email them and have them email me. I'm always looking for good interviews, so I appreciate it when you guys suggest people. Cyber Clue, happy St. Patrick's Day. You can tell by the wee sparkle in my eye, I'm as Irish as Patty's pig. So wait a minute now, I'm critical of Robert Francis O'Rourke. Does that mean I'm a self-hating Irish American? Or maybe his policies are bullshit. Does that mean I hate the Irish? Anyone that's critical of Beto O'Rourke hates the Irish. I'm going to so that's the other thing too with identity politics. So then I just need to back Beto O'Rourke because he's Irish and I'm Irish. O'Rourke is a family name for me. My grandmother's maiden name was O'Rourke. So I just got to back Beto no matter what. Because we've only had one Irish Catholic in the White House and they put a bullet in his head and then they killed his brother just for thinking about it. So I just got to back whatever Irish Catholic runs no matter what. See the problem with identity politics? He takes money from the oil lobby. He's number 2. Above him is Teddy Cruz. Yeah, Janet, so if they ask about Med for All, how will you pay for it? The same way we pay for Israelis, or will that label us anti-Semitic? Well, you put it into all of the things. How are we going to pay for supporting the Israelis? How are we going to pay support for the war machine? How are we going to pay for these bombers? How are we going to, we never ask those questions. We never ask how we're going to pay for those things. We always ask how we're going to pay for good things. How are we going to afford it? Jim Garrison's rescue dog Einstein says hello. What's up? Beto equals bad news. Israel has nukes, leave them be. Identity is important, but only second to one's politics. John Pilger. Yeah, that's a fair thing. My thing is policy first. Would I like to see more diversity and inclusion? Absolutely. This Congress that had the most diverse, the first ever Native American women in Congress, that's an important thing. America, the political landscape needs to represent everybody. But if I'm just doing identity, just their identity, that's the only thing and not their policy, then that's a mistake. I would support Nina Turner over Beto O'Rourke because of her policy. Kamala and Harris were my only 2 options. I'm going to vote third party. Jedi Mullet 77. Oh, Han shot first, Jedi Mullet. Thank you for supporting the show. Shave the knuckles for justice. Study the Department of Energy in 1880 found a renewable fuel-based economy would create 26 million permanent jobs. Wow, I'll look that up. Jedi Mullet, can you email me that? Go to Graham Elwood, just info@grahamellwood.com. If you actually have a link to that study, I mean, I can Google it or whatever, but if you email it to me, I can talk about it. That's a good thing to reference. Thanks for supporting the show. 26 million new jobs. So when Meghan McCain says, "Oh, it'll cost," this is the Fox News oil lobby think tank fueled talking point. It'll cost $900 billion or whatever. It'll cost every American family $600,000 over 10 years. No, it'll create jobs. It'll create jobs. Thank you for bringing that up, Jedi Mullet. 166, 143 likes. Nice. Boom, boom, pow. Boom, 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 pow. Hemp oil in your diesel engines. Right on. Yeah, Colbert really did show his lack of strength when he asked those Tulsi this question. And he wasn't even, he had no jokes in there, and he was just pushing the war machine talking points about Assad and everything. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, now. Hemp grown in the in the median of every federal highway. That's funny. Yeah, CBS does control Colbert. He's not his own man. Absolutely. He is very much a sellout. I used to love that guy. I used to love Rachel Maddow. Now I just like, they're all just corporate sellouts. Shout out to Jordan Sheridan. Boom, boom. I'm into electronics and I'm an installer. If the government gave me a loan to start a solar company and gave the people a huge credit to have it installed, I'd be super successful saving the world. Absolutely. They've done solar credits here in the state of California. And when they first introduced it, there was something like, I remember this is back like 15, 20 years ago, maybe 15 years or so ago. They introduced a tax incentive thing in the state of California. Before that, there was something like 500 installers in the whole state. When they introduced that, all these installers, and then companies started competing to build the most efficient solar panels. It all went in the right direction. Ruth Benedict, shave your knuckles for justice, Ruth. We'll see you on the East Coast. Graham, so far my blood work results remain good. You and the fine humans on this site have been enormously helpful in my recovery. Show Ruth some love, man. She's battling leukemia, but she's got some good results from the doctor. If I'm not mistaken, Ruth, you're in remission, and it sounds like your blood work results remain good, which is awesome. Progress as we stick together. Show her some love. And we'll see you at the shows on the East Coast, Ruth. You very much, I really appreciate you supporting the channel, especially considering what you're going through. And when you guys share what you're going through and with your health and whatever, and then everyone else chimes in and shows love, it warms my heart. That's what I want. I want to build up this community. This is a community of progressives. This is a community of people that want to come up and discuss and even debate what are the best ways to make everything better, to save the world. We might not agree on everything, but that's the goal. All of us here, we want to stay informed and we want to make the world a better place. And we want to be there for each other, because capitalism is cruel. Capitalism makes us pits us against each other. We got to fight each other for the job. And, when society should be about interconnectedness. You should have free health care to go through what you're going through, Ruth. You shouldn't also have to worry about, maybe you got good health care, and I hope that you do. If you don't, or the other people out in the world that don't, it's awful that people have to worry. Can I afford this? Can I afford to get sick? It's insane. So I'm glad everyone's showing you some love, Ruth. Thanks for showing up here every week. I appreciate it. Jedi Mullet 77, shave the knuckles for justice. I got videos on my channel of David Bloom, author of the book Alcohol Can Be a Gas If You Want More Info. Ooh. He discusses on how we can make all the food and fuel we need without the need for oil. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Send me that. Jedi Mullet 77. Cool. David Bloom. Yeah, I'd love to know more about that. I'd love to know more about that. I love you guys are so good at opening me up to authors and scientists and people that are studying stuff that I care about that I wasn't aware of. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, Jedi Mullet. Shave the knuckles for justice. Go get some alcohol to make your car run. Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. Right on. Where are we at here? Guys, 166 people watching, which is great. Every week we used to be at the 70, 80 amount. Now we're always at 120. Now we're doing 150 or more. Last week we hit 200, which was fantastic. So this is great. We're at 1:29. All right, I gotta wrap it up. But let's see. Where are we? Thank you, sir. Let's get to 200 next week. Where are we? The chat is no. All right. See back in the USSR. All right. go. All right, I'll sing Back in the USSR. I'll sing Back in the USSR. No, we want live control one. That's what we want. Let's do Phil Brzezinski. What's up, brother? Katie Kane's eating corned beef. Good for you. Tax churches, it's a business. Are Ron and I going to come to Portland, Oregon? Yeah, hopefully. We want to do like Portland, Seattle, Vancouver, maybe do Eugene. Who knows? All right, let me get the lyrics for all right, here we go. Let's do, hold on. I got to get my earpiece in. I'm going to get my earpiece. Okay. This is some ad. Okay, I don't know this channel, so I'm going to skip the ad, but please don't do that with my channel. Here we go. Oh, wait, I got to see it. Shit. Flew in from Miami Beach in Boise. Didn't get to bed last night. The paperback was on my knee. Man, I had a dreadful flight. I'm back in the USSR. Got busted for transporting weed. You don't know how lucky you are, boy. Back in the USSR. This is horrible. Been away so long, I hardly knew the place. Gee, it's good to be back home. Leave it till tomorrow to unpack my case. Honey, just connect the phone. Back in the USSR. You don't know how lucky you are, boy. Back in the US. Back in the US. Back in the USSR. The Ukraine girls really lock me out. They leave the West behind. The Moscow girls make me sing and shout. The JoJo's always on my mind. Oh. Back in the USSR. You don't know how lucky you are, boy. Back in the USSR. Oh, man. The Ukraine girls really knock me out. They leave the West behind. And Moscow girls make me sing and shout. And JoJo's always on my mind. Show me around the Snow Peak Mountains way down south. Take me to your daddy's. That's a creepy lyric. Take me to your daddy's farm is a creepy lyric. Come and keep your comrade warm. I'm back in the USSR. You don't know how lucky you are, boy. Back in the USSR. Oh, let me tell you. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back, honey. This is weird lyrics. This is weird. This is a weirder one. This is of all the ones I've sung. This is the weirdest one. Yeah, this is the weirdest one. Weirder than Do You Believe in Life After Love? For sure. For sure the weirdest. That was the weirdest one. We all know it. Workers first. America. I'm glad. I love seeing $5 contribute to such amazing entertainment. Oh, boy. Man, I'm sorry. Just don't sing feelings. All right, you guys. Oh. I am Putin's body. All right. We gotta. Oh my god, that was fantastic. Jedi Mullet 77, thanks for supporting the show. I've been using ethanol since 2006. Ethanol extends engine life, go longer between oil changes, and keeps money here in America. Right on, Jedi Mullet. Thanks for supporting the show. You guys are fantastic, man. 156 likes, 148 people watching. The views went down when I sang. I'll just pay attention to that stat. But I got to get running, guys. It's been an hour and 35 minutes. I appreciate all of the love. Let's read them out. Matthew Jones, thanks for supporting the show. Basil Peterson, always great to see here. Balthazar228, right on. Sean Comets, check out his artwork. Ruth Benedict, show her some love. We'll see you in New York. OTR Trucker, right on. Matthew Alabastro, thank you for supporting the show. Balthazar228, again, shave him. Crystal Church, right on. Aloha to you. Oh my God, I forgot this one. Perfecto Fluoro. Oh, this is Wahad. Oh, hey, sorry, I missed this one. How did I become a comedian? You can see the first time I ever performed, I was 18 years old. I was a freshman in college at the University of Arizona, and I joined the U.S. College Comedy Competition. The MC was Judd Apatow. He has a mullet and acid wash jeans. It's on my YouTube channel. You can see me 18 years old telling jokes. Not that great. But that's how I became a comedian. And then I started going to open mics in Tucson, Arizona. I joined a sketch comedy group called Comedy Corner at the University of Arizona. And then I moved back to Chicago and started working full-time as a comic. And that's where I met Jimmy and Paul Gilmartin, who plays Congressman Richard Martin. That's how it started. Thanks for supporting the show, I appreciate it. Bob Swanick, see you in New York. Thank you, sir. Balthazar228 again, right on. Zach 7-inch, whatever. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Thanks for the martial arts talk. I appreciate that discussion. Balthazar228 again. Ruth Benedict, right on, Ruth. Show her some love. Glad the blood works good. OTR Trucker, right on. Caesar, the greatest victory equals a win without fighting. I'm sorry, I forgot that one, but that's a great point. That's another way to say victory comes with the sword still in the scabbard. Alex Rosenboom, right on. We talked about Jesse. Thank you. Eric Oldenburg, Detective Natural Progressive, right on. Fernando Fernandez, thank you for showing the show. Ray Foley, good to have you here. Krillin at 876, Knuckles for Justice, make them shaved. Balthazar228, Brian McManus, Jedi Mullet 77, Ruth Benedict again, Jedi Mullet again, Jedi Mullet again. Thank you so much. And then, of course, the good folks at the Streamlabs. Let's read out the Streamlabbers. Really appreciate that. You know, you can donate to the show anytime. If you go to my website, there's a PayPal donate button. There's a P.O. box if you don't feel comfortable donating online. A million ways to support the show. End the Wars, Am I Aware, the website, skepticalscience.com. It lists all of the common climate change myths pushed by skeptics and debunks them in multiple levels of detail, which you can choose. Oh, that's awesome. Right on. I'm clicking on that link right now. Skeptical Science, and I am adding that to my reading list. Boom. Thank you, Robert Mueller's Day Off. Shave him. RCV, Ranked Choice Voting. Always love talking about Ranked Choice Voting. Gun Law Parity, right on. Zach, thank you so much. Beaton O'Rourke. Thank you so much. All right. That's everybody. You guys are fantastic. I love doing this. I love doing it every week. It keeps growing and getting bigger and bigger. It's so awesome. The channel's we just crossed 17,000 subscribers. Videos are starting to get thousands of views instead of hundreds, which is fantastic. So it's awesome. And I love singing, even though that last one was kind of horrifying. But right on. All of you are political vigilantes. stay vigilant, hold the ruling class accountable, and maybe we can get a progressive in the White House. Shave your knuckles for justice. Let's do it.